point in for the challenges. So, what are some things that you guys struggled with during your cloud journey, or even how you guys got into your first employment thing? Obviously, Alicia, you kind of told us your journey, but kind of go into detail what challenges you faced.
Yeah, I think the biggest one was just like I said, like that imposter syndrome, feeling like, are you good enough to be here? Walking in and dealing
Hmm.
with so many clients and so many different people, you definitely don't want to let them down and you want to represent your company well. I think the one thing I would say to navigate through that though is use whatever negative emotions you're experiencing to like push you to be better and to do more, right? Like I use
Right.
that imposter syndrome to stay up studying until 2 a.m., 3 a.m., getting certifications, being a sponge, asking the right questions, instead of allowing it to be something that forced me out of, the position that I was in. Now, luckily, being a college hire, you get like 6 months to just focus on learning. So that's very helpful.
Mhm.
But
Right.
what I will say is like when you finally get out there, ask for feedback. Like the things that I was struggling with, I would
Mm.
perform and then I would always be open to like how could I do it better? And one, it allows people to give you some grace because it shows you do care and that you are trying to improve and be better. And then it
Mhm.
allows you to see what your blind spots are and do it better the next time you're presented with that opportunity. So for all the imposter people out there, you're good enough. You're gonna go kill it and do great things. Just keep putting
You're good enough. Cries. I love it.
it in.
But question for you, like follow up to that. So you're talking about feedback. How did you go and approach people for feedback? Was it kind of from like your direct managers or from peers, or like how did that process work for you?
Yeah, at least for me, like anyone who I've worked with, I feel like I at least allow them to give me feedback. I think
Hmm.
sometimes you have to have the discernment with what it is that they're saying and who the feedback comes from. Like, not all
Mm.
feedback I will say is good feedback. So don't
Yeah,
let it
for
discourage
sure.
you. Don't let it discourage you if it's from someone who, might not have the best intentions. But I think that you also have to be open with people that you want real feedback. Like I don't want to pat on the back and I don't want to just say that like this was the best thing you've ever heard because you don't want to hurt my
Hmm.
feelings. Like I'm an adult. I want the real truth of how I can make this better. And so sometimes I feel like when you condition people for the feedback, it's better and it's more intentional. Meaning like
Yeah.
um, even if I say, okay, what feedback do you have for me? And it might be like minimal. Okay, well, what feedback would you have for me if I was at a senior level or at a principal level? And then that allows them to like broaden the scope,
Mm.
help you grow into like the future roles that you're interested in. Because sometimes people are only giving you feedback for where you're at right now. So they're like, okay, as a college hire, you did great. But it's like, no, compare me to someone who's been at the company for 5 years, who's done this
Hmm.
thousands of times. And I think it's allowed me to get, very helpful metrics. So any and
That's good. I'm
I was
taking
every
about to
that.
say that's
Mhm.
really good.
I'm
I'll
writing that
be
down.
writing that down. Yeah, definitely. Write that down for my next one-on-one. Um, Shay, how about you? What have you struggled with along your cloud journey?
Every and anything you could think of.
Same.
I struggle with it. Especially because coming from a non-technical background and having to be self-taught for a lot of things. The resources, for example, if you're using like the AWS learning plan, it seems simple enough, but sometimes you don't have that professor that you can go to and be like, I'm not
Mhm.
understanding this. Especially when I first started, we didn't have all the AI chats that was really integrated. Like the learning language models weren't as advanced as they are now to be as helpful. And
Right.
so you really had to want it bad enough. You had to know that you were going to struggle, like Alicia said, imposter syndrome. It will kick your butt and make you feel like maybe I'm not intelligent enough. And I think one of the hardest lessons I had to learn was it's not about how smart you are, it's about like how much grit you have, especially coming from
Mm.
like that type of background. Do you want it bad enough? um and it's not rocket science, it's repetition. I say that all the time. It's not rocket science.
Mm.
Mhm.
Cloud is not rocket science. Now, if you're actually trying to be a rocket scientist, then I would say, okay,
More power to you.
right. But cloud is not, you do not have to be super, super intelligent. You have to be smart
Hmm.
enough, but you have to also know that it's just like riding a bike. The more you do it, especially the hands on projects like this project, is going to be so helpful. And I think another big lesson for me is don't scared. I was about to say scared, afraid, and scared. Guys, don't be
Don't
scared,
be a
okay?
scared. Yeah, period.
Don't be afraid to make make those start using mistakes that. because in tech, we like to debug. majority of your job is going to be debugging. I need y'all to know that. They're going to give you projects. 70% of that is trying to figure out how you're going to do this project and then debugging it. It's going to seem so simple. You know, some days you might get lucky and it's straight to the point. The other times you're debugging, and the great aerospace industry, oh my gosh, yeah.
The rocket scientists we were talking
Oh,
about.
Jonathan. Jonathan is legit.
But
My
what I
guy.
was going to say is, dang, that kind of threw me. I forgot what the heck I was going to say. But long story short, document everything. Document every time you make a mistake. There have been times where I was trying to debug something for like 48 hours straight, but like forgetting to eat. This is when the coding comes in, on Python, JavaScript, and it's always something so simple. You know, the joke is always like, oh, it was a semicolon or something in a spot that you didn't know about.
Yeah.
But I promise you, those 48-hour nights where you have to debug something, you'll never forget, and you will never make that mistake again. And make sure you document it along the way. So don't be afraid to make mistakes.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
So scared. Now I'm taking them down too.
Document everything as you go.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, Ifani, what challenges you faced? Anything like that?
Many challenges, man. I mean, the one challenge was who is going to give this black boy who is a professional athlete living in Turks and Caicos a chance to be a cloud engineer? Like, who the heck is going to do that? That was the number one thing. Like, how do people don't even know me? Like, Turks and Caicos only has 50,000 people, right, in the entire country, right? And I remember when I was on my tech journey, I went to the most technically advanced organization in the whole Turks and Caicos. It was an energy company. And I went there, I did an interview. They saw all the certifications I had because I was trying to get into cloud, right? But they wanted me to be like ERP something. And I was like, so in the interview, I asked him, so,
Just
you know,
have
when are we
surface
trying to, like, when are you guys looking into cloud or
Imagine
something?
that.
And they
Or
said,
this group, I
maybe
want
the
to be
next
just
5 years.
company-owned
And that's when it
devices.
hit me. I'm
So you
like,
can be
yo,
really granular with how you
like
create
where
your
I'm trying to
dynamic
go
groups. Okay, before
supersedes
I
where I'm
save this
at.
group,
Like, I can't do what I want to do
wouldn't it
here
be great if you're
because there I'm just like the world is moving so much faster than where I'm at. So I had to look outside of my country. And living there, the only place I could turn to was the internet, like YouTube, like things that you see on the internet, people, other creators. And I started getting, you know, had certifications and nobody was giving me the time of day with certifications. Nobody, like, how was I going to prove myself and show someone to give me a chance? And certs wasn't doing it at all. And that's when I got to really understand that the only way to prove yourself is you got to show people something, right? You got to show people that you can solve problems. You got to show people how you think. You got to show people your thought process in doing these, you know, technical stuff. How do you do that? Well, when you do a project, no one knows you've done the project unless you actually tell someone. How do you do that? By writing documentation, posting it, talking about it. What are you learning every single day? So I found out that, oh, this is my way to get my name out. This is the only way people are going to know about this boy in Turks and Caicos. And I did that for a very long time. I started doing a bunch of projects. And at the end of the day, it was the way how I landed my first job. So there was a company in London that the CEO basically DM'd me and said, hey, we want you to join the company because we saw you do a project that's basically the same thing that we're doing. And I had 2 interviews in 1 week and I got a job for a company that was globally remote. So I was hired in Turks and Caicos without having to move, which was the biggest problem that was solved just by sharing my story, sharing my learnings, and actually doing projects. So that's why I love this.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is
So
crazy.
cool, man.
Yeah, I've met a few people who've done that too, where it's like I started posting and then someone reached out for an interview. I'm like, how'd you guys get an interview with these like big companies? Someone DM me. I'm like, what? It happens all the time, apparently.
Yeah, it happens in the DMs, man.
Yes.
Okay, so next question. What piece of advice would you give the challenge participants? This could be anything from like how to start, what, you know, you struggled with, and maybe they could learn from you type of thing. Shay, what are your thoughts?
Why would you call me?
Because it's time. It's time.
Okay. Let me see. What is a good piece of advice? I will say finish the project. Like finish this entire thing.
Hmm.
I know for a fact so many people get excited when they see stuff like this.
Hmm.
And it's so much excitement in the beginning. We'll get like 500 signups. And by the
Yeah.
end, 50 people finish that they crossed. What is happening? Am I having a stroke right now? 50 people finish the project. All right, you get
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. But we had a
Yes.
project, Kat and I, we had one last year with the Cozy Cloud crew, and so many people started. And I promise you, maybe
10 people, maybe.
10.
Not even.
And we had so many prizes to give away. We had to almost double up and give people extra prizes because
Wow.
people just
Yep.
did
That's
not
crazy.
follow through. And then you have those same people who are still asking a year later, how can I land a job?
Right.
And I'm like, did you do the project? And I'm no shade. I'm not trying to come at anybody. You're like, I understand life is complicated. Everybody has their own schedules. They have their own things to do. But my number one piece of advice is to just finish the project. You don't have to finish it in the time frame, but set a realistic end date for you. If you say, okay, I can do this in 3 months around my work schedule and life, then I want you to
Hmm.
actually set a date. I want you to act like you paid $10,000 for this course, this challenge, and you need to finish. And so really
Right.
you have to be self-motivated. We're going to be here to help. We have channels for that, and the community in general. All of our communities put
Hmm.
together are so helpful. But I just really want you to bet on yourself for this challenge. I want you to act like for me to land a job, I have to finish this project. Whatever you have to tell
Mm.
yourself. They're holding my
Yeah.
cat hostage if I don't finish this project. Whatever works for you. But you have to
Not the
be
cat.
self-motivated.
Yeah. No, it's a good point. Like the completion aspect of things, like Shay was saying, we had so many people sign up for the last challenge. And I think maybe 10, probably less, actually completed it. But the same people who started were like, well, how come they're getting certifications? I don't understand anything. Well, it's like, you have to do the work.
Yeah.
Even though it's like hard, you have lots of stuff going on, jobs, kids, family, whatever, make the time, invest in yourself. Like it's a
Mhm.
really crucial thing for being in the cloud or being in tech in general. Um, Alicia, what are your thoughts? Any advice for the participants?
Yeah, I would say the biggest one is to like allow yourself time to struggle through it. Like this is obviously, like Shay said,
Yeah.
we're gonna have moderators like helping you all. No one's gonna have to struggle. Like you'll get it eventually if you ask the questions. But don't be so quick to like raise your hand and say I need help. Like take a decent amount of time to try to figure out like how can I go Google search this? How can I use some of the
Yes.
resources that Kat put together to use, AI to
Hmm.
help me get unstuck? Because I think when you take that time to troubleshoot and debug, the topics stick a lot more. Like you learn a lot better when you just take the time to figure out how to get yourself out of it. And that's really what these challenges are about. Like it's not just
Hmm.
about you saying, hey, I took all these scripts and ran them and I go and say, hey,
Hmm.
these are my projects. It's like if you take the scripts and you tweak them or you modify them in a way where you can really speak to it with that confidence, that's what's really going to help you land the
Right.
job. It's like the equivalent of going to college just to get a degree. Like if you just go and show up to all the classes and you didn't learn anything, it's going to be a little bit harder to apply yourself versus like if
Mhm.
you're taking in the information in a practical way, and go out there and do it.
Hmm.
So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, agreed. I know even for like my job, like research is the biggest part of it. And if you don't know how to research or like find your own things, like there's no one else to really help you. Because like
Yeah.
I can give you a resource, I can give you a link, but like will you use it? Will you go that extra mile and like dig deep into it? Like that's what tech is about. Like finding those resources, using them and applying them. So really
Yeah.
good point there. Before we go to Afani's answer, someone asked a question for documenting. Do we have any thoughts on like how to document well or any formula you guys have? Um, any thoughts on that?
I'll let you finally go. He's good with documentation.
I guess well, so we will be providing documentation for each project, right? So you
Hmm.
can look at the template that we have that we use, and you can tweak it. Each person is may use a different type of way of documenting for each of their projects. Me, Shay, or Alicia may have a different way, but you can take
Hmm.
inspiration from there. As far as platform of what to use, GitHub is best for hosting code, and you also have a README that explains what the project or the repository is doing. But you can go
Right.
above that and actually have a separate blogging platform like Medium or Dev2. I don't know if you guys have heard of Medium or Dev2. You
Hmm.
can actually use that specifically for documentation of your projects. You can include, pictures. You can include videos inside that, and I
Yeah.
feel like separating that is almost better than putting everything in GitHub. GitHub specifically would be for your code. You still have a README, but when you have a blog platform, having that blog platform you can put on your resume and say someone can click it and see all your blogs, which
Hmm.
in those blogs will also link to your GitHub repo that has the code itself. So Medium and Dev2 is the two places that is the best place for actually documenting your projects.
Yeah, Medium is what I use too. So Medium slash other processes. Um, all right, Ifani, any advice for the challengers or participants?
Oh, yeah. So I would say I'm all about the journey. Journey, journey, journey.
Yes.
When you start the journey, we always tend to look at Mount Everest, like the peak of Mount Everest, and we keep thinking when we're going to get there, how we're going to get there, and thinking of the destination, but not understanding that the journey is actually more important, right? The work you put in today
Hmm.
is going to compound over time to when you reach there. So with it's going to be a lot of projects dropped almost every single day. You're not going to be able to finish all of them in one day because it's just going to be so much. It's going to take time, right? So don't be in a rush to try and finish the projects that you lose out on your learning journey. Part of this journey is learning how to learn. You got to figure out how do you understand the stuff? How do you
Yeah.
grasp the stuff? How do you understand in a way that you can speak to it in your own words and you can explain it? And when you actually document your project and someone asks you about the project, you can talk about it. Don't just go into tutorial hell and just follow a YouTube videos and then just post it out. And then when you go into an interview, they're like, okay, explain the project. Then you start stammering because you don't know what you did, right? So I would say with each project, make sure you take your time, you complete it, you understand the concept, you can explain it, you know why you're doing certain things, you know the use cases. And once you finish one, then you move to the next one. Don't be in a rush to complete it. And then you will realize that after each project you're learning so much, you're gaining so much, like your learning is compounding on each other, and after maybe like 3 weeks you realize how far you've come. But that only happens when you actually take the time to learn.
Yeah. Word for word. Agreed.
Bar for bar.
Bar for bar. Yes. Um, Alicia, question for you. What do you hope our participants gain from this challenge?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like there's like so many different things I could talk about, but I feel like the main I feel like the main one is really just like the confidence to feel like you can go and talk about these projects as if it
Mhm.
was your idea, you came up with it and you decided that you wanted to do this thing. Like it would be so cool I'm excited to see what you guys take this foundation and build with it. Like I'm
Yes.
excited to see how
Foundation,
you all
yes.
like okay, Alicia did it this way. Here's how I took this and made it even better and added this in and bringing it back to the community for others to do. I think like
Mhm.
what we built out is a very great start, and you guys are going to learn a lot. And it's great for beginners and people who are already in the DevOps space. But I feel like if you can take it and make it better, that's what I'm excited to see. And even if it's 5 years down the road from now, like not now, and you're just figuring it out, but you get in your role and you really start understanding things, and you come back to it. I'm excited to see how those seeds we plant now pan out.
I love that. Shay, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm gonna have to just repost what Alicia said, but I agree, and I think the fact that we're all doing it on our respective YouTube channels, it's like this is going to live forever as long as we don't delete these videos. And so this stuff will be around for you to come back to, and I think that's really important because there's projects I did when I was learning that I see now in my GitHub, and I'm like, oh, like this would have been so cool if I would have integrated maybe some SageMaker, some generative AI into it somehow.
Hmm.
And so I also use that for like what she's saying, like in your interview process, you talk about that in your interview process. Say, I did this project. This is what I would do better. Actually, if you really want to take it a step further, when you're talking about your projects, don't just talk about your projects. Talk about how you would actually implement them to the company that you're interviewing for. This is how we use this project to make you guys more money, to make customers more happy, to make the streamlined services, to automate services. Really try to tie in everything that you're talking about and say, oh, well, what would you suggest? You don't want to give them too much free game, but give them just enough that they want to hire you so you can actually implement that project into their system. But I'm very excited to see what you guys come up with. This is probably going to cause a ruckus in the chat, but I need you guys, please. We are trying to come up with a cool hashtag for this project that will live on forever, right? So we don't want to call it like hashtag Devops challenge. We don't want to call it, I don't know. But if you have ideas,
want something cute, give
something
it some
that
pizzazz.
makes sense, that even a year from now, if you put it on Twitter, people would know what you're talking about. So I want you guys, as part of our community, to help us come up with this hashtag, because when you're posting your projects, we want to see them. Put it on LinkedIn, put it on Medium, put it on YouTube, put it on TikTok, Instagram. I don't care where you put it.
Everywhere.
But we want to see it. And the only way we can really track it outside of Discord is with like some type of hashtag. So if you come up with something, just drop it in the comments, put it in the Discord, whatever. We'll vote on it maybe tomorrow. So, but yeah, pass it off to Ifani. My bad.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the last question. For me, I would say, I want the participants to, I'm trying how to phrase it. I want them to, one, solve the problem of, okay, I want a cloud role, but I don't have experience. Okay, so you want experience from me, but I don't have experience. But you're asking someone who's entry level to have 1 to 3 years experience. And the only way you can really solve that is by having evidence of something that you've done that is something remotely related to what you're actually going to do on the job. So that, and have so you guys can get an understanding and a mindset of what it means to be a cloud engineer, what it means to be a DevOps engineer, right? Because a lot of people think, you get certifications, you understand it, and it makes sense. But the hands-on, can you actually use the knowledge that you have to apply and solve a problem? So these projects are going to force you to put all the theory together to solve a problem, right? The YouTube videos and the stuff that we have, we don't give you, we don't explain every single thing to you, right? There's some assumed knowledge, and you're going to have to either go out and research it yourself, and that's by design, right? We're not going to spoon feed you everything. You're going to have to go out, learn some different things. Why is this? We might have a Python script and you don't even know what Python is, but we will explain the code, but you're going to have to do extra work to know, okay, what the heck is import mean? Like, what? Go and read that up. What is the import, right? Or use some type of ChatGPT to research, like, what is this thing? So you're going to learn. I'm just excited for everybody to be on their own journey of solving the problem of, getting hands-on experience to get into a job, and also understanding what it means and what it takes to be an engineer, the mindset, the thought process, thinking technically, thinking logically, and that type of stuff. So I'm excited for each person's journey.
I love it. Also, we already have a submission for Breakthrough the Cloud as a hashtag. That's kind of cute.
Some of
I
these
like
hashtags.
Yeah, some of the hashtags, y'all are doing y'all thing. Cloud chasers, I like that.
I like cloud chasers.
If we don't use cloud chasers, I'm
high
going to use that somewhere else.
Yo, someone said puff puff cloud.
That's what I said.
Yes, I'm loving the
Puff
hashtag.
puff cloud. Y'all are funny. For the ones that are trying to combine like cozy cloud, I don't want y'all to do that, only because all of us all have our own communities. Kat and I, that's us. Ifani has Rex Tech. Alicia, what's the name of your community and things that you do?
We haven't really put a name on it. Right now, it's just people doing great things.
The Cloud Chaser?
Cloud Chasers might be it.
I mean,
Cloud Chasers might be it.
I think you should take it. I'm just saying.
I support.
Yeah, so these are really, really good. I think all of these are added to the LinkedIn post, like these comments.
We can go back.
So we were able to see them. So keep dropping them in there. I think they're absolutely hilarious. I do like, which one was it? Let me see before I lose it.
No, there were some good ones in here.
It was some good ones. I said, oh, Beyond the
The
Cloud.
Devops
I like
crew,
Beyond the Cloud.
cute.
That's
Mhm.
See, this
but
is
keep going. Good job.
Yeah, we'll
Kat,
keep reading through.
here's the
We did have a question about the project. So will projects be built / dependent on previous projects? The answer is no. So they will all be individual projects,
Mm.
correct?
yes.
Yeah. So if you miss one, like for I think Alicia's posting first. I can't
Shay's
remember
posting
who.
first.
Shay's posting first. That will not be like you have to do that step 1, and then Tuesdays it'll be step 2. They're all completely different projects. And then the second week, if you haven't looked at the schedule, is all just your self-learning. So if you feel overwhelmed by the first week of everyone posting videos, you have like a week and a half plus to like go through them, pick one, and then try it out.
Yeah.
What other
I did
questions?
want to. Did we drop the schedule for week 1? Did we already?
It's in the Discord, which if you guys have not already joined, you can go to, if you go to cozycloudcrew.com, it'll have a Discord link, but I can't remember what the DevOps one was, the URL. It should be in my post.
I'll look for it to drop it in there.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be perfect.
So it was one question. What did it say? Is it going to be 10 projects? So for the project breakdown, there is essentially 4 weeks of projects, but we're doing this week coming up, and then there's a week off. That gives you time to complete the project. And then the third week is week 2, but we're doing it. It's like every other week. So those weeks in between are so you're able to do the projects. There are 5 projects throughout the week. So Monday through Friday. So that gives you the whole following week to do that. Kat's done a phenomenal job. Kat and Mario, they're in the Discord handling all that. So please check out the channels. Each week will be something different. We have 4 tiers. The first tier is week 1. What is week 1? AWS foundations and data collection. Week 2 is containers and microservices. Week 3 is infrastructure and automation. And then we wrap it up with DevOps and CI/CD. And then there's the bonus project at the end. That's the one where we're not doing anything. We want you to take all 4 weeks that you learned and come up with your own project that encompasses all 4 of those different tiers. And so not tiers, but themes. And I think we're very excited to see that. Like those final projects. Yeah. Can we say one thing that one of the prizes are at the end? We are picking winners for different categories.
Yeah.
The
4
coolest
winners
project
at minimum.
Coolest project, maybe like who was the most helpful in the Discord chat. Whatever, we'll figure it out. But one of those prizes is tickets to an NBA game. So we are using the NBA APIs. So if you want some tickets to some NBA games, 76ers doing pretty decent. But I just want y'all to be motivated and just know like you can do this. Definitely just keep going.
There was another question in the chat. Well, I actually might have to do this challenge because I want some NBA tickets too.
Yeah, that's
alien.
I was just
me too.
A little ghost account, like wow. Look at this project, guys.
I'm just joking. I'm gonna let you guys have it. But Collins had asked, would it be possible to improvise with the projects by using Azure services in place of AWS? I think that would be a cool remix.
Yes,
for sure.
GCP.
We welcome the remixes as much as we can. Because this
For
project
real.
is for
I
you,
will say,
right?
though,
It's for you.
Yeah.
Yes. I will say, though, if you're doing a different cloud service, the people who are trying to help out may not know how to help you. So you'd be more on your own, which is fine. We love that. We support that. Just if you have certain questions, we might not be able to help as much because I know for me and Shay, we're like primarily AWS. So
yeah,
if you're doing GCP, would not be able to help you with that. But
same.
Yeah,
retweet.
Yeah. But anything that you guys can like change about the project and do more or less of, do it.
Alicia, she can help you. If you're really trying to do Azure, you better hit up Alicia. She got you covered.
Yeah, she got you unlocked for that one.
Good question. Yeah, definitely do that. He said it triggered my DevOps superpowers.
I love it. Honestly,
Now all
same.
of a sudden everybody's motivated.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna
I
finish
mean,
the
you said
course.
NBA
Everybody.
ticket. That's money. That's a good chunk of money. So I'm here for it. So I have
This
another
was the
Make sure
question
question.
that
too.
I this was the question that I answered.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So is there any other questions in the chat or anything that you guys want to say before we wrap up?
Mhm.
There was another one in there. How fast can a pen tester get into a cloud role?
Oh, let me see if I can. Hold
Sorry, I
on.
don't know how to highlight them.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Hold on. There's a lot of hashtags I gotta get through. Oh, there we go. Yes.
A pen tester?
I know
I
nothing
mean,
about pen testing, so I would not be a good person for this question. But
I can
Alicia,
take it.
I think you know.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Ifani said he got it too.
Oh,
Yeah, I
even
mean,
better.
pen tester is still cybersecurity, right? And the thing is, a lot of these cloud DevOps cybersecurity, there's some fundamental skills that goes through all of them, right? And that's Linux, that's operating systems, that's knowing computer components, that's networking, that's security, like fundamental stuff, right? And programming fundamentally. So if you're already a pen tester and you're in that role already, you're trying to get in that role, odds is that you already learned Linux skills. You know the CLI, you understand some type of networking, you understand security, and you can transition those same into cloud, literally, right? You can just jump into cloud if you want to, if you have those fundamentals, right? And the thought process and how logic you think, and the type of mindset you have to be a pen tester, you can easily switch into cloud if you want, because you got to be some type of crazy like maniac to be able to do pen testing, right? So cloud isn't going to be anything that's just like astronomical for you to be able to get into. You can easily pivot in there if you just like, just pivot into some of the stuff that we're doing, and Google some stuff and look at where the different technologies and the skills overlap, which is, trust me, it's a lot, and you're gonna see it's not that hard.
Okay, love that. A few people have asked in the chat, like, where do you find the Discord link? If Ani posted it in the chat, or on the post, it's also in my LinkedIn post where you found this. What is this called? Live. Um, and then if you go to like any of our pages, we posted recently about it, so it should be there. If Ani, I don't know if you want to post it again, if you could.
Yeah, I just dropped it again.
Okay.
Last
So he
night.
just posted it again. That's how you would sign up, and that's where you'll see the FAQ. That's where you'll see the like schedule. You'll see how to start, and then Monday you'll see the videos come populated in, which we'll make an announcement in the Discord so you don't miss the videos. Um, let's see what other questions. So same thing here. I think is what we were answering before. You can use Azure, totally fine. And the schedule, that will be all in the Discord. So I wish I could share my
Yeah.
screen.
I think a lot of the questions y'all are asking are
Mm-hmm.
answered in the Discord. We made an FAQ channel.
Yep.
I know there's a question here that says,
Mm,
is it like which level? It's beginner to beginner advanced. So the prerequisite is just that you kind of know some cloud services. You at least know how to navigate the console. You touch Python a little bit, um, different things like that, because we won't be going like step by step. This is how you code. This is how you create an AWS account. It's
Right.
kind of like you should know how to have an account. Make sure that you set your limits so that you don't go over anything. None of these projects should, really cost you anything. The most might be like $5, but once you're done, make sure you shut
Kill
down
everything.
everything, kill
Yeah.
everything. But I'll put some resources in there. Ifani dropped some good ones. Kat did too. We'll put them in the chat in the Discord. The Discord is our main communications channel after this.
Yeah.
But we'll put some resources in there for best practices when setting up an AWS account. We are not responsible for any fees that you accumulate.
A
But
disclaimer.
you
Yeah.
should, again, this is a learning process. So yeah.
Yes. Another resource that I can put in the chat, or one of us too, for GitHub. there are tons of YouTube videos. That's how I learned personally, because I also, up until like a few months ago, had no idea how to use it. So don't feel bad for not knowing how to use like Medium or GitHub. Like, it'll be in the process. It'll be a good repetition for each project that you do for this challenge. If you're not in the Discord though, please join ASAP so you don't miss any of the resources. And a lot of the questions that we're answering here, they're already in the Discord for the FAQ section. So as soon as you get there, start there. It says FAQ, start here. So yes. Someone said, never used Python before. It should be interesting. You're going to learn. And there's also tons of different resources that like YouTube has, or Ifani posted a bunch of resources too. So don't feel bad. A lot of people are starting from the very beginning of their cloud journey. I think we've only had a few people who are like asking for more advanced stuff. So you are in the majority, trust me. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't want to scare you away. You don't have to be an expert. I'm not an expert on any of these things. But,
yeah, me either.
You'll learn along the way for sure.
Yes. Someone said perfect timing, taking the SAA this Tuesday. Congratulations.
Good luck.
Yes, let us know how you did.
You just passed, right, Alicia?
Oh no, I was saying like he's gonna pass. Like it's already done. It's already done.
You didn't just take a certification?
I did just take a certification and pass.
It was a Microsoft one though, right?
But it was a Microsoft one.
Oh gosh, yeah.
We're not gonna get into that here.
Right.
Keep this place positive.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, I would say it's already done for him. He's passing.
Yes, period. Sending all the good vibes.
Yeah.
So we have about 10 minutes left. If there's any more questions, please let us know. Otherwise, we'll just kind of chill out for a few minutes. I had a comment right here. Please turn on your notifications, because if you miss stuff, it's not on us. It's on you guys to make sure you go back to the videos and everything. We will definitely be sending out like messages and blast them, but you know, we got jobs too. So we got to make sure we're all keeping each other accountable here. So here's another one.
Kat, could you, because for some reason I'm not logged into StreamYard, so I can't. But I'm gonna repost the link for the forms. If you could post it, or one of you guys could post it in the chat, because I can't respond to the chat. But somebody could post it and just like have everybody go fill out that Google form. Because we'll be choosing.
If you could, only because I can't like add comments while I'm like streaming. Okay.
Wait, say that again. What did you want?
So I just text our group chat, right? Could you go to that Google form and that
just
link?
Post it in the
chat.
Can't
put it in the chat. So the link that's coming is a Google form, and it's just a sign up so we can track how many people start off with the challenge and how many people finish. This is also how we're gonna kind of choose a winner for the end of it. We're giving away vouchers, the NBA tickets, and hopefully some more stuff along the way. So, but we really need you to fill out this form.
Yes. So I have a few questions. Yeah, so the entire project will end the end of February, and that following week, so March 7th, that's when we'll be announcing the winners for the entire challenge. But we do not start on the 13th. I saw someone post that. We start tomorrow. But as soon as the video is posted, feel free to start like trying stuff out. Feel free to start testing your environments. It's going to be a week and a half for you guys to really get through the first section, even for like one video. So take your time, ease into it. Like there's going to be 4 videos posted for the first week. Don't feel obligated to do them all at once. That's a lot. I saw someone mention that they're like a full-time worker and they have kids and everything. Like that's totally fine. But this is not to overwhelm you. It's just to help you out and give you certain projects throughout the 2 months. What is this?
I don't see it. I haven't seen the link. You say you
okay.
just sent it again, Shay?
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna drop it right now in the Discord. The Devops.
Yeah, that would work. How many winners total? So we have 4 AWS vouchers for certifications, And then I don't know if we're going to do a fifth winner for just the NBA tickets, or we're going to lump that in with one of the winners. Definitely 4 total, potentially 5 winners.
Mm.
But the real winners are people who complete the challenge so they can have real world experience. Right? Right. About the journey. So
I just dropped the link in the chat.
Thank you, Alicia.
okay,
Appreciate
perfect.
Oh, I just did too.
You got it twice.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great point too. So a lot of these projects should be like the free tier of things. If you see anything that says priced, please make sure you double check it. There should be a free option for most of them. So just be mindful. Be demure. Okay.
The question about the ticket, it is US because the NBA games will be in the US. So if you can make it to the US,
Yeah.
you know, the tickets are yours. If you can't, you know, we'll talk to the winners when the time comes and figure it out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? Current time zones. What time do y'all work on? Unsure what that question really is referring to, but these are gonna be like posted onto YouTube. So like if you miss a video from Shay or Alicia or Fani, like they're gonna be on YouTube forever, like she was saying earlier. So feel free to go back at like 3 a.m., 2 a.m., like wherever you want to have that time to like learn, they're gonna be there.
Yeah, these aren't live videos; they're pre-recorded.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else y'all want to add? We have 5 minutes left. So yes, everything will be posted CST 9 a.m. for those days, I think.
Yeah. The form will be posted in the Discord as well. The tickets are not the only prizes. We have vouchers and goodie bags and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where can you find the videos? Head to the Discord.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Discord. All the information is there. It's going to take you to all 4 of all of our YouTube links are in there. So all our different pages are there. Not LinkedIn, YouTube, right? All of our YouTube pages. Our LinkedIn information is there as well.
Yep, exactly. Playoff tickets.
Not the
that would be
tickets.
a little pricey, but yeah. So everything else moving forward for like FAQ stuff, it should be in that thread. And if you have more questions, like please like message us in the chat. It's the only way that we will be able to really follow up with you. And yeah, I think that's all she wrote, guys.
Yes, this was phenomenal. Thank you guys so much for joining. I didn't expect all these people to be in here. So I'm glad y'all dropped by to hang out with us. We will definitely see y'all. Like, I can't believe it kicks off tomorrow. So
yeah.
I'm so excited. I can't wait, y'all.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
we
fun.
officially kick off. Make sure y'all are tagging us. Please. We're gonna have to come up with a name by midnight. We gotta come up with a hashtag by midnight. So tomorrow when y'all are posting, tag us, please. We would love to. They really serious about these cloud chasers. Like,
I like the cloud chasers, actually. Let's make it an executive
I look, you kind of like it too.
Done.
Alicia, like, I already put my video in.
I know, like, man. I think it might be that Philly coming out, Shay. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's fine. Listen, we'll figure it out. Please keep dropping the hashtags. We see all of them. I like y'all are hilarious with some of these. So this has been really, really fun. We'll see y'all in the Discord.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye, y'all. Make sure to follow all of us on LinkedIn.
And please finish the challenge.
Everything.
Finish.
Yeah. All right. Bye.